Scripture is how God speaks to us, and prayer is how we speak back to Him. I've been speaking back to God for 25 years, and in a lot of those times I'm using a prayer journal. Today, maybe you use a prayer journal or you don't, but I'll tell you this, the second I get to the last page of every journal, it just feels like an accomplishment. Like, here's this time I spent with God, and I know that I've been heard. And though I know I've been heard, one thing I've always wanted is to know exactly how God has moved in me in those times. And I think that is where the Sanctify Journal helps. Because the Sanctify Journal is not just an endless array of blank pages where I hope I'm getting it right. It is a guided tool. Just like Scripture guides us in how to worship God, it's good to have guides in our life to help us talk to God. And that's exactly what the Sanctify Journal is. You'll be able to reference it to see just how He's working in your life. For example, at the beginning of the book, you get to write down an expectation. God, this is where I'm at now, and this is where I hope to see you moving in my life. Then you have a prayer log. And what's unique about this prayer log that's different from just blank pages is every one of them gives you a way to document how you're feeling that day, because how you feel determines how you pray. Just look at the Psalms to see that. And then at the bottom of every page, there's a summary, because I promise you, years later, when you're going back through this journal and you're looking for that one day, having that summary at the bottom is very helpful. After that, one thing that makes this very unique is it has a section in it where you can actually write the sermons that you're listening to weekly in your prayer journal. You can keep those notes and you can reference them as you're talking with God. So that way the things you hear in church don't just stay lofty in the pulpit, but God gets to work them out in your heart. In addition to that, we have what's called a prayer appendix. And this is really where we actually start seeing the real molding of God in your life. Because when you write your prayers in the journal, in the prayer appendix, you can actually find the numbered page where you wrote that prayer and then actually document how God answered it, where God is with you in it now. Beyond that, there's other features that make this journal very meaningful, not just for you, but for your descendants and other people who come behind you. And those are the milestone pages, where you can write down all the things God did in your life that maybe you didn't pray for. They could be ups, they could be downs, but they're the thing that makes you, you, the things that were set in motion before you were even created. These milestones showing you that God has intrinsically buried Himself into your life, and you're going to be able to write those down so you can see how He's moving in your life. And then at the end, you have a declaration. You get to reflect back over your whole journey and see, this is actually how God moved in me. So these are some of my prayer journals over the years, about 2.5, 3 years worth. And after you've been keeping them for a while, you start forgetting which is which. So I started just writing the numbers on the side. So in the Sanctify Journal, we took that need out, because our hope is that this is something that continues within you. So every one of them is actually volumized on the side and the front, so you can keep track of it. Inside the book, you'll even notice when you get to a page that has a new chapter or a new beginning, we've actually put this black partition on the side. This makes it very easy for you to navigate inside your book as well. And when you shut that book for the last time, you don't have to wonder, is God moving? You look at it and you say, this is how God grew me in this journey.